Time now for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. Al, we've seen a mixed bag with the weather this week. We've had a little bit of something for everybody. How does the week ahead look for us?
Yes, Troy, there has been a little bit of everything this last week. We've seen temperatures up, we've seen temperatures down, we've seen a little bit of snow across central Nebraska, east central Nebraska, and the Panhandle during last weekend. And then during this week, we've seen off and on chances of moisture. And now we're going to deal with a very powerful system. Unfortunately, winter is here in earnest. And the biggest question is, how cold is it going to get, and how much snow are we going to receive, and how long is it going to last? And we'll try to answer all those questions here as we go to the upper air models and see how this next week will portend according to the GFS. As we can see from today's upper air pattern, there is a trough over the northern Rockies that is anticipated to dig deep down into the southern Rockies, and that will spread a snow band across Nebraska. At the surface, we have a low over the Texas Panhandle that's pumping that Gulf moisture up into our region. And we have the surface radar. We basically have that snow that's starting to move from Montana. That is expected to progress through the state during the overnight hours. That trough will start to dig down into the southwestern United States. Low pressure sitting there in western Texas is going to continue to move that moisture up with that very cold Arctic air coming in. We're going to see a very large band of snow develop across the state. We're most likely looking at 2 to 4 inches general coverage with some isolated 6+ inches of probably across the Panhandle. The trough gets all the way down toward the southern New Mexico. The high pressure sits over top of us. We're looking at very, very cold temperatures. And we may actually see some snow bands exiting out of southeastern Nebraska during the morning hours. By Tuesday, that trough itself starts to progress toward the east, but the big flow from the cold starts to cut it off. High pressure firmly in control over the southern plains, and low pressure at the surface is brought all the way down into southern Texas. This is one to watch for southeastern Nebraska, because right now it's lifting that system just to the south of us. But if it lifts a little bit farther north, we're going to see more accumulating snowfall, particularly Tuesday into Wednesday. But more importantly, we're going to have high pressure developing into our region. You can see the flow on the front side of that high is going to still continue to bring Canadian air into our region from the northwest as the main upper air system starts to progress across the southeast and then starts to lift up on Thursday toward the Ohio. Low pressure will keep that moisture in place in the southeast. We're going to be under the influence of high pressure, and we should start to get on the backside of that high pressure system on Thursday with a warm up in store for particularly western Nebraska, a little bit slower for eastern Nebraska. A weak wave moves through eastern Nebraska on Friday. We'll probably hold our temperatures a little bit with low pressure at the surface. There's just nothing for moisture wise to feed into this system. So most of the heavy precipitation moves to our east. And with that trough lifting out, that starts a warming trend for us. But if we look at the 8 to 14 day forecast, you'll notice below normal temperatures. That's primarily toward the end of next week as the cold air starts to shift east. Look to our west, you see above normal temperatures. Unfortunately, we don't have a precipitation chart for you, but I can say from looking at the models, it looks like we're going to see 0% for precipitation once we get past Friday in this period. And more importantly, with the winter outlook, maybe this is our first sign of winter, but certainly we're going to see some very cold temperatures down to the single digits in the Panhandle with the passage of the system, and highs basically stuck in the teens to 20s on Sunday and Monday. So Troy, it looks like snow, 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 and then we see a warming trend going into the first half of November.